Welcome to How to Plan Your Business Calendar to Create More Flow and Balance in Your Personal Life. I'm going to excuse myself from this video so that you can focus on the content below. So, welcome. This is a masterclass inside of my Inner Lights Academy, a new age school of high magic and spiritual alchemy. So, welcome. Let's get started. I'm your host, and my name is Tamron. Quick little bio about me. I am a certified astrologer and a certified health coach, and I empower women to bounce back from an active betrayal to regain their self worth, their confidence, and reclaim their inner light by using a 5-step recovery process that combines emotional healing and purposeful living, even when they feel overwhelmed and powerless. And as an ex private investigator, I specialize in working with high profile clients who wish to remain anonymous to respect their privacy. Non-believers, I guarantee my woo-woo magic works. One of my favorite quotes is by Stephen Covey. We are not human beings on a spiritual journey. We are spiritual beings on a human journey. A little bit about my background. I'm an acclaimed businesswoman, international recognized speaker, best-selling international author, TV media personality, and a shamanic storyteller. And I'm committed to assisting those who have endured betrayal in toxic relationships. And through my innovative 5-step spiritual alchemy recovery process, I skillfully blend emotional healing with purpose-driven living, offering a lifeline to those who feel overwhelmed and powerless. My 12-week program is a testament to my dedication to empowering clients to reclaim their self-worth, inner light, and life direction. As a renowned Canadian astrologer, certified health coach, and a spiritual alchemist, and a former private investigator, my diverse skills shine through in my popular podcast, Wake Up with Tamron and Your Time Matters. Here, I'm able to enlighten and educate hundreds of thousands of viewers on the importance of the astrological events and their impacts. My approach, often termed as astrology woo-woo, offers unexpected clarity and wisdom, even for those skeptics. And 2 decades ago, I overcame deep depression and suicidal ideation to embrace my spiritual awakening, transforming my own story from victim to victor. I have a passion for encouraging women to gather together, especially around a roaring campfire under the full moon. I'm a genuine foodie, love to volunteer in my local community, hiking, sharing my secret recipes for holistic remedies, and nature photography. My nickname is the Witch of One Island Lake. And my favorite thing about life is being a mom. So, in this virtual experience, my core message is that astrology is based on simple math and science. You don't need to be an astrologer to use this information. Remember to stay tuned until the end for my cheat sheet that's going to be available for purchase, where I'm going to be able to save you a ton of time and money. And in this free masterclass, you're going to walk away with 3 basic things. And the first topic is you'll have a deeper understanding of what specific planet we are using in order to apply to your business planning. Topic 2 is you'll be able to implement the knowledge right away to enhance your business and make plans for your personal life. So you'll be able to use this in 2 ways. And the last third thing is you can apply these hacks over and over again whenever you want to launch, promote, or plan an important meeting or an interview. The bonus is that you're going to get the secret access for the additional online sources available to save you time and money. So, are you ready to learn my secret hacks? So, in the next 20 to 30 minutes, what will we learn together? Well, we're going to talk a lot about the moon because really it is about the moon, and it travels regularly around the earth every 28 days. So remember that number 28 divided by 2 is 14 days, where there's an equal energy every month to use to your advantage. And in your business, I want you to call it like your business moon calendar. And remember, it's based on those 2 energies of a new moon window, which occurs within 14 days, and the full moon window, which occurs for another 14 days. That adds up to those 28 days. But also, one of the secret hacks is to always remember anything that has to do with the number 5, which represents change, royalty, castles. This is all what it represents in astrology. And the number 10 in astrology represents leadership, corporations, and strength in numbers. Because we're going to look at things that happen 5 days and 10 days after a new moon to help you with your planning. And I'm going to give you an example in this masterclass. So remember, at any given moment, you can look up into the sky and there is a picture of the planets in an exact position. And these positions can also be predicted using technology that is located on the free websites that I'm going to show you. So break out your blank calendar. Best to use a printed version first before you post in your virtual calendar. And remember to write in blue ink for positive energy that flows. Black is a negative energy. And so honor that mind-hand connection to make things happen. This is a picture of me when I first started teaching this master class, and I would use different colors of highlighters and use my blue pen so that I could remember the new moon, 5 days after the moon, and 10 days after the moon as well. And so I color code it so that it's consistent for my planning and there's no confusion. So what I do is I go to a moon calendar website, and this allows me to determine the new moon and the full moon date so that my information is correct. An example would be when I first started teaching this masterclass in October of 2022, you'll see I was looking for the new moon date, which is on the 25th. And if you look down at the picture of the 25th in October, you'll see where the new moon is. You can't really see the picture of it because remember, that's when the sun and the moon come together in the sky. So we don't see the moon. And this is the energy of a fresh new start. But I was also looking to plan events on the full moon for that month. So if you look further up, you'll see on the 9th how there's a picture of the full moon. You can see the entire image of the full moon. And that's when the sun reflects off the moon. So when we look up in the sky, if it's a clear night, we can see the moon. And this is important to understand what these energies represent and how to benefit from that in your business. So each month, I plan ahead and I determine the new moon and the full moon dates. And I do it for the whole year ahead. So I circle the dates ahead of time so that I know. And remember, where energy goes, energy flows. So when you get in the habit of doing this regularly, you're actually using the energy of the moon to enhance your planning. And the moon represents planning in astrology. So we're going to use it to our advantage. There are some very reputable astrology websites. As a certified astrologer, many astrologers go to reputable sites. So I'm going to remind you to stay tuned until the end of this video, because in my cheat sheet, I'm going to share with you the reputable websites that I use so there's no confusion. And this is what I do to determine the position of the moon and for that specific day when I want to look up and find out what's happening in the astrological sky. And when you go to this specific website, you click where the arrow is, where the image is, where you see the little icon for the sun, the moon, and actually the third little icon represents Mercury. And also the planet Mercury represents planning in astrology, right? It's how our mind works. It's how we, prepare for things and have a strategy. Then when you click on that area of the icon, you're going to see this little pop-up that comes to the screen. And this is where you go to the bottom where it says chart of the moment, where I've pointed my arrow, and I want you to click on that as well. And then I'm going to teach you how to look for some very specific things, but you'll see what the pop-up looks like on one of my slides ahead here. So just a recap is we're going to be looking for anything that has the new moon energy, which is the exact date of the fresh new start, meaning 0. And we're going to be looking for things that represent anything to do with the waxing crescent stage. So 5 days after the waxing is the waxing crescent, or it's represented by the number 5 or Leo in astrology. And also, we're going to be looking on these pictures of the astrological sky, the waxing gibbous stage, which is 10 days after the new moon. And the 10 is represented by Capricorn in astrology. So this is what an image will look like when you see the picture of what's happening in the astrological sky in the chart of the moment. Now, this seems very overwhelming and confusing for people if you are not a certified astrologer. However, I don't want you to focus on all the red lines or the blue lines. I just want you to look at, where is the moon? What is the picture of the moon? And the icon of the moon will always look the same. And on this actual day, the moon was sitting in the sign of Leo. See on the bottom circle there where I've circled? So I was thinking, hey, this would be an auspicious day. This would be a good day to plan for something because the energy of the moon is in the sign of Leo. And also, it just so happened that it was in the 5th house. So if you see on the top circle there, those numbers 1 through 12 represent the different astrological houses. Now, again, you don't need to know what those houses are if you're not an astrologer. But when I looked this up, I thought this feels lucky to me. And so I used that information to do something on that specific day. So remember, it's 5 days after a new moon, you can plan for something. But if you're peeking at some of these chart of the moments and you see the moon is in the sign of Leo, that's a good energy for you to use for your planning. And also, you can implement anything to do with the number 5 or 10, or anything to do with the Capricorn sign. So this is how you can implement some of this energy. So remember, just do some simple math where you look at day 0 as the new moon when you're looking at your calendar, and plan for anything 5 days after or 10 days after. And again, that information is available for free on specific reputable websites. And every 28 days is also a full moon. So remember, this is not the recommended time to launch anything new in your business calendar model. Pay attention when you are planning, unless it has something to do with releasing or cleansing or selling, or a final completion stage of an area of your business. Remember, as I mentioned earlier, the full moon is when the moon is bright in the sky on a clear night. And that's when the sun and the moon are in exact opposite positions, and the sun is shining a light on the moon. And a true story of when I used the energy of the full moon was at a women's gathering that I had planned for the full moon energy, because I offer 2 free events inside of my membership at my Inner Lights Academy, where we gather together virtually on the full moon and the new moon so that we honor the energy of what's happening. So on this specific evening, it was the full moon in November of 2015, where I gathered together to use the energy of other participants, and I wrote a prayer on a piece of paper and I burned it, telling the universe it is done. And I asked for the perfect new owner of my building to appear, because I was selling my business building. And the next day, I got a message from my real estate agent that somebody was willing to purchase my building. And that night, I took a picture of the full moon and I had posted it on social media. So this is a true story. And I sold the building to that person who bought it. So just a general recap of the information that I've shared with you. Again, this is very basic. It's just based on look and see where the new moon is for the fresh new start of something. Look at 5 days after, or is the moon sitting in the sign of Leo, like I showed you in the image, or look for something 10 days after the new moon. Or if you're looking up on the websites to see where the moon is it sitting in the sign of Capricorn? Or is anything happening with the moon in the astrological sign of Capricorn or 10, because that's a lucky energy. So I'm giving you a little bit of a homework challenge is to get your planner out and book your next event, your talk, your masterclass on any of these specific times of any month ahead. So use your day 0, your new moon, 5 days after, and 10 days after to book. You can do this for the whole year ahead. Aim for these times each month in advance and mark or circle important dates in your business on that new moon, the 5 days after the new moon, or 10 days after. And remember, you can plan for some specific things in your personal life too. But when you're planning for anything auspicious to happen in your business, then you can use those other dates to do things in your personal life. This is where you're going to find more balance and flow when you embrace the energy of what is happening with the moon. And also, I'm going to offer you some bonus content for additional optimism, generosity, and good fortune energy that happens every single month as well. And this is usually a 3-day window. And it's when the moon is conjunct with the planet Jupiter, because Jupiter does represent that optimism, the generosity, and good fortune. So plan ahead, because things you start on these energies should be successful as they're based on good intentions. This is especially the case for those things related to growth and happiness. And it's perfect for special occasions, important interviews, launches, speaking events, etc. So in my cheat sheet that's available for you, I'm going to give you the specific dates for the whole year ahead for good fortune, optimism, and generosity for the current entire calendar year, which is when Jupiter and the moon are together in the astrological sky. And I'm going to give you the 2 specific reputable websites to obtain your moon calendar and astrological data for your own planning. So I'm going to share that information so you can see the positions of the moon. You'll be able to count 5 days after and 10 days after. So I'm going to give you those websites so you don't have to go searching. So I'm going to save you some time there. And this cheat sheet is a value of $297. You don't have to be an astrologer. You don't have to sit down and figure out when the moon and Jupiter is going to be together, because as an astrologer, you kind of have to know how to do that. So I've given you that information in my cheat sheet below. It's available for you to purchase, and it's only 17 bucks. So here's the link for you to purchase. It's going to take you directly to the Stripe payment link. And when you make your purchase on your checkout page, you are going to get the link where it's going to open a digital copy for you. And that information is in a Canva digital cheat sheet format for you with all the dates listed. It's going to give you the websites and where I use the same data from the same website. So you're going to be using the same thing that I'm using. So I'm going to encourage you to make your purchase. Again, I'm going to say thank you for joining me today. And if you're interested in joining my Inner Lights Academy, this is my public Facebook group. Again, it is for women. And really, one of the reasons why I offer this masterclass is because after I've worked with my clients and worked with women, and I've helped to empower them after an act of betrayal, whether that happened in their business or their personal life, when we've tapped into some of the information from their own astrological birth chart, they gain the sense of clarity, they feel more confident. And also, additionally, I teach them information about how to step into their higher purpose. And that really has nothing to do with your job. It just is a way to understand and validate things about yourself where you can be spending your time to raise your vibration so that you're a lot happier. And when that happens, a lot of magic starts to occur where you might really step into your true passion and step into doing something that you love, because again, that is part of the healing process. And many women become entrepreneurial. They start looking at their hobbies and they want to make a little bit more money. So again, this is another reason why I offer this masterclass as a way to enhance some of the astrological information and to use it in your business and even in your personal life. So it's bonus content material here. And when you join my academy, you're going to be you're going to have an invitation to join me on the full moon and the new moon energy of every single month, where we gather together virtually and you learn how to manifest using the energy of the new moon to embrace something new or to let go to on the full moon. Plus, also there's additional ways where you can work with me on different levels of being a member of my academy. And it starts with the basic enrollment of just $147. You get a copy of my Inner Lights journal. It's a personalized guided journal. And as well, you get an additional masterclass video. Plus, you get the invite every single month. And then there's an opportunity to become a client and to also attend some of my live retreats that are happening throughout the year. So, again, I want to thank you for joining and use the content that I'm sharing with you in these cheat sheets. It's going to save you so much time and money. And again, you'll have the free website, so you'll have access to that here and forever. And every single year, I update the Jupiter moon conjunctions for people so that they can just purchase the link and have those dates available, so you don't have to become a certified astrology to gain that. So thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to meeting you somewhere inside of my community. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.